I hit a deer last night on my way home. I live in the mountains.
Oh.
Or actually, it hit me. It ran into my car.
Oh, jeez.
It's freaking scary.
Was it another Zerglin?
No, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
That was a Zergling. I actually invented that word. I should have got money for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that, man. Tell us about that.
When they were doing when they had us do voiceovers. First of all, they were like over past their budget. They were past their due date on the thing. They didn't even know if StarCraft was going to come out. So my buddy Matt Sammy, that was head of cinematics, he said, "Hey, could you come in and do some hillbilly voices?" It's like, all right, and I came in there. They hadn't even done the graphics yet. They hadn't even storyboarded it yet. One thing he goes, well, you're gonna be driving, and Lester's gonna be with you. You're gonna argue about what you're listening to on the radio, but you're in charge, so you can do anything you want. So he just kind of made up the things. What you got to listen to that shit for anyway? Because I'm in charge, that's why. I originally said, because I'm in charge, that's why I listen to anything I goddamn want when I'm in charge. You just keep your mouth shut. But they cut that out. Oh, no. So they had a way to prompt it. So it was kind of goofy. They said, "Hey, what's that?" Hold on a minute, steamroller. Boom. He goes, "Look like you mashed some for horse." That was just on the next from for this dog, and I just came up with it because it was supposed to be a baby Zerg. I go, "It's a Zerglin, Lester. Smaller type of Zerg. They wouldn't be out this far unless it. Oh shit."
Wow, that's so cool.
That's what they kept. Yeah. You never know what they're going to keep because you do these things like literally hundreds of times in all different ways.
Yeah.
Finally see what's there. Yeah. No, I've always wanted I've wanted to get my friend to get a painting of like Lester Sarge in that 90s janky like.
I've always loved it. I've always been so confused.
They
had like the weirdest car ever because it had like it looked like chain. It looked like the wheel was made out of a chain.
Yeah.
And like everything just looked so weird in the animation that they made. I can see why that they cut out some of the lines. They probably didn't want to spend time animating everything.
Well, animation wasn't that good back then. It was almost impossible to make smoke. And things were real. That was the best they could do. That was state of the art at the time.
Yeah.
Right, like that.
I know they couldn't even show like you getting killed because they couldn't do the melee animation, so they cut out.
No, not very well. No, whenever they did something like that, it was real weird, like PC, like chunks flying out, and so they usually just made a big explosion or you heard it.
Yeah. Hey, man. So tell us about yourself. I already know a lot about you, but tell us about yourself for the audience.
Well, I am James Arthur Page. I'm 58 years old, as it stands now. I've been playing music for a living most of my life. Oh wait, my computer came unplugged. I don't want this to come off. Turn on. I'm very new at this. Now that was part of the problem. I was trying to find my plug.
That's all right, man.
I play in a blues band called Whiteboy James and the Blues Express. I've been doing that since I was a young teenager. And outside of I was a professional boxer and amateur boxer for a while. Outside of being in the Army and doing a little voice work here and there, music's all I've done. It's all I've done for a living, pretty much. Yeah, except for crime, which I wasn't very good at and got sent away for a while for.
Oh my god! You were a naughty boy back then, huh?
I'm a naughty boy now, but I'm a little bit smarter.
That's the way to do it.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
They sent me away for 5 years, from 2001 to 2005. There's real criminals in that place,
Yeah, I bet. You got a lot of prison stories that you could tell. Yeah.
Well, the guys that are they're really unnerved by crazy people.
Yeah.
And I am batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't mind pulling that out in there, you know. It's
Yeah,
just I would just start just going nuts and everything. There's like, oh, hold it now.
Alright.
I'll be here for 5 years. Bunk 70 low. Go get all the bad motherfuckers you know and bring them over here anytime you're ready. And they didn't. I was sure I was going to get killed anytime, but no, they were scared to death.
Yeah. I am genuinely curious. Were you ever? You told me about, and I didn't write this down. This is why I'm talking about this now. But you told me about StarCraft Ghost and that you recorded something while you were in prison that they never used. Can you tell us about
that? Recorded some stuff. They were making StarCraft Ghost.
Yep.
When I was in prison, and what I didn't record that stuff that time. There was stuff that there was a couple of songs they had put on there. There's stuff I recorded years earlier, and they were just looking to give me some money to put on my books. You know, it was pretty cool. Man.
Yeah.
I found out they had a music room, and I filled out the paperwork and started a band program at Tehachapi, which is still going.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
But no, they wouldn't let you record there. We did, but you weren't supposed to.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, they did a lot of stuff with prison and two. Do they ever consult you on like that kind of style for the second game? Because of like New Folsom Prison and all that's a huge thing in two.
Yeah. Well, they not so much. It was pretty much Matt Sammy's baby, and Matt played guitar in my band for Matt Sammy of Cinematics. He's retired now. He was in my band for about I think 5 years. He was in my band. Great guitar player, great musician, and before he was in my band, my band's Whiteboy James of the Blues Express. He had a band called the Flying Pig Express, and we were rivals. You know?
Oh yeah,
nice. Rivals turn buddies. I love it.
Yeah. You know, when he joined my band, we just exploded all over that blues scene. So we pretty much knew what we wanted to throw in there. You know.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming Matt's probably the reason why you got involved in the StarCraft, because you guys were like buddies, and is that how you got involved? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were not only bandmates, we were friends. We were really good friends. We were both D&G guys, you know, with dice, you know.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s, and he used to talk about that. You know, he talk about the internet and stuff, and he called it. I can't remember what he called it. I think he called it the superhighway or something like that. And he talked about, you know, soon they'll be able to crunch the numbers, and we'll be able to play Dungeons and Dragons without dice. Everything will be figured out. You just move your guy around, kill somebody, take their shit, do whatever you want to do. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And you'll be able to play against anybody anywhere in the world. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So we were all waiting for it to happen. Part of the thing we do, because we played like between 200 and 300 nights a year when he was in my band. We played almost every night. In our time off, we were always talking about what we were going to, ideas about what to put in that world. Like he'd say, hey, I was thinking about this and that. And I go, oh, yeah, you got to have a guy that does blah, blah, blah. You know? Or like when he was talking about doing StarCraft, he's talking about doing the suits. And he goes, well, what's some ideas about the suits? I go, well, you got to have different ways that they can stream. You can't be totally invulnerable. You know, I go, how about metal mites? So somebody has a little vial and they bust a thing of metal mites on him. He's got to get a decontamination kit, or they're going to chew holes in his suit. I don't know if they ever use that. This is an example.
Oh, that's cool.
It sounds similar to stim packs, which is what they used from Ryan's.
Yeah.
But still, that's cool.
I don't know if that's the same thing, but yeah.
There's a bunch of things that we talked about, whether they were his ideas or mine, just stuff we were throwing around. You know, that ended up being in there, and it's really cool. It's just it's beautiful to see the thing come to fruition. And we knew it would be cool, but we had no idea it would be this great thing. That all of us right here, we're all involved in that. We're all part of it.
Yeah.
Whether you played it or still playing it, or you worked on the game, or you just enjoy it, man. It's just a huge, wonderful community of people, man. I mean, wow. I'm really humbled and flattered that I got to be part of it.
Yeah. And of a very your cinematics are some of the more popular ones. So.
Yeah, it's wild.
I told you before, James, that the Lester and Sarge cinematic scared me to death as a kid because I didn't like it that it cut to black and I didn't know what happened to the funny looking guys. So,
Oh, he says, "I love you, Sarge." For StarCraft 2, I wrote a song called "The Ballad of Lester and Sarge," but they didn't want to use it because it talks about. They said, "Well, it talks about homosexuality." I go, "Yeah, but we already knew that."
That would have been perfect.
We already knew that. So they voted that down.
That would have come out right before that would have been popular, but yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been almost mandatory. It was years later.
Right. It would be mandatory now. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, everybody would be identifying as things and all that.
Yeah.
I identify as a Zergling.
I identify as
and the ones you did right. So Shotgun Zerg and you, how did that start? Was that I heard it was initially a different song that you changed for it, or?
Well, they wanted me to do Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh yeah.
I was like, and I hate that fucking song. And I hate that group. Nothing against it. I mean, you guys like the group, that's fine. I can't stand that group. The songs on the radio constantly just make me sick. Can't stand pop music. And when I was in the Army, I had basic and advanced training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. That's not my home. I hated that shit. Sweet home. No, not my home.
It ain't sweet. It ain't my home.
And I have this thing about music. I don't feel right about singing about something that I don't believe. To me, it's like lying,
All right.
So it's not my home. Everybody will know that it's not my home, and I'm just singing some song to sing it. Like, get all in it now, man. Hell no. And so I go, man, I go, hey, I really want to be on the game, but I hate that fucking song. That's all about it. And he goes, well, that's gonna drop on the jukebox, and for the big release thing, and your name will be right there. And I go, I don't care about that. I would rather do some other songs. He's like, what? I go, well, how about you could put Excuse Me for Scribbling on there, because it was on my first album.
Oh, okay.
And I go, and I'll come up with another one. He goes, okay. All right. And we were playing, it was like, I think it was 3.5 weeks away to record. And I was touring constantly. And I had been up for probably 4 days. I came off 5 nights of playing. And I was at a bar called the Reno Room in downtown Long Beach. And I was hammered drunk, man. And the phone, they gave me the phone, and it's Matt Sammy. He goes, hey, you're almost here? I go, fuck, almost where? He goes, where are you? I go, it's a thing day. I go, oh yeah, I'll be there in about 20 minutes. He goes, man, James, when can you be here, really? It's in Irvine. I go, I'll be there in an hour and a half. and so I started driving over there, and I had this ukulele. And I was thinking, oh man, I better come up with a song pretty quick. I had no idea what I was going to do. And so me and John Denton and Tony Tyson, we were in drama together. Me and Tony Tyson played football together. We used to sing this drinking song called Shotgun, Beer, and You. Or it'd be like, one guy would start out like, I'd be playing guitar, and you go, sorry, Shotgun, Beer, hey you. I got a beer and a shotgun, and I'm bringing home to you. And next person would have to come in with something, like
that's so cool.
Whiskey, beer, and it would keep going, And we were always doing rounds like that. And so I'm thinking, I'm driving with my knee, and I'm thinking, okay, Zergs are. I wasn't sure about the other bad guys, but I knew what the Zergs were and Zergling were. So, go, shotgun, Zerg. I got a Zerg and a shotgun, and I'm bringing home to you. Pick them up. You just get going.
Love it.
I have that all.
Loved it. I don't know if it's the most popular song, but it's definitely one of them.
It's up there. I drive my wife insane. I actually have the vinyl with it. So.
Yeah. Did you get the vinyl record?
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I was going to be on
I-
vinyl. My first my first record it was gonna be vinyl, but it was right on the cusp of it, so it came out on CD. And I was upset because I had designed it to be on an album cover. I had planned it from the time I was little. It was a shot of like my coffee table from the top when I'm sitting there drinking and getting the soda and stuff, all kind of garbage on it. And so they condensed it down to the CD size, and it just didn't look right. You know?
Yeah. Not the big laid out.
I will say that they I don't know who they got. Subsourian might know this, but I don't know who they got to do the Sweet Home Alabama, but they did still do it.
Yeah, they got it.
They did. I don't mind them doing it. I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I just thought it was funny because I remember hearing that in the game, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. But
that was funny.
I love the Zerg song though. The Zerg song was always my favorite. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's funny. That song that's Brian Bodie singing. I'm pretty sure a guy named Brian Bodie. He was in one of Matt Sammy's band, and he had his own band for a long time. So he played on the same circuit as me and Matt. You know.
Yeah, he did American Trilogy. Yeah.
Good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
Seems cool.
And then what about Excuse Me for Scribbling? Is that another song you did?
Oh yeah, that's the other one I did. I wrote that about when I went to school. I was a horrible student. It's not that I'm an intelligent guy. I just didn't give a fuck about going to school. I knew what I wanted to do. I was going to be an entertainer and a boxer and maybe a criminal, maybe a heavyweight champion of the world, maybe a pro football player. Who knows? But I wasn't doing anything that I needed to be in school. I hated it. So I wouldn't do anything. I didn't do anything. You get thrown out of class and stuff. And by writing my cursive, I can't write in cursive. I could barely write my name in cursive. And when I was going through school, they made you write all your work in cursive. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Just not going to do it. I was embarrassed for years about how my signature got in cursive because it's worse than a doctor's signature. Nowadays, they don't even make kids write in cursive anymore. I'm like, you motherfuckers, I knew it.
I had to write it all through my childhood, and guess what? I've used it never.
Don't use it all. And I was embarrassed about it. So
one uses it
I could barely write my name.
Mm-hmm. I never once used it, and
I think you're
I
cutting
was
out there.
taught it a billion times. I didn't care ever.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, I think you're cutting out a little bit. But it's good now.
You hear me now?
Yep.
What's that? I couldn't hear you.
We were all cutting out for a minute. It's fine. We hear you.
Okay.
Hey, I wanted to
cutting out.
One of those.
We'll cut out some of the technical difficulties. Don't you worry.
Wait, hold on. Let me see what this is. Fuck off. Okay. All right.
Oh my, yeah.
As you were saying.
Yeah.
So you actually. Oh, do you want?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you did the Shotgun Zerg and you at BlizzCon. Big old crowd with like a violinist and everything. How was that?
Oh yeah, that was great. That was awesome. There was like I think there were 20,000 people there.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah, that was incredible. The Blizzard band, they were great. Those girls on the violin, they were really cool.
Oh yeah,
we rehearsed this before, and it was really cool doing that with that band, like a 16-piece band with backup singers and stuff. That little funky tune I came out with, it was great.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect.
It was a great song. I remember watching the concert online. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I love
you can't really see how many people are there from there. You can just get an idea of it, but it was incredible, man. It was, after that, I thought I was done, and they go, no, you got to go out to the autograph thing. Oh. This is when I started realizing the impact it had. I was out there signing autographs for almost 5.5 hours.
Wow.
Lined up, mostly Korean people, all lined up taking pictures with me and all that. And I was like, they're going, oh, Lester and Sarge, hey. I'm excited.
Yeah.
My son and my girl they're like standing over there. They can't even get over to where I am, because security's there. I look over, I'm all, hey, how's it going? I was there's so many pictures and so many autographs. My hand was just cramped up because I can't write that. It was just, I was overwhelmed, man. I was really humbled. It was beautiful. I was like, wow. Because after I did that, after I recorded it, I just went back to my life and playing. I didn't even think about it again until I went to BlizzCon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What? So besides Sarge, you also did the Drill Sergeant. Tell us the difference between the two characters. Do they have the same name? Why do they have
No,
the same name?
no, they just called it. They just called him. They just yelled. Sergeant. There's
Sergeant!
yeah.
Yeah.
That voice. It was weird. They said it was what looked like an Asian guy. I recorded some footage for that. He going, Sergeant, that looked like something in the field. I think maybe it's a police unit. It looked like he broken or something. What you want me to do? What you want me to do? Kill her! A drill sergeant in the army say that. When you see an enemy, you will kill it.
I love it.
And if you said something, you go, God damn it, Private, you immediately tell me why you called me from my desk. They cut out the goddamn it,
Yeah, but it's still there.
It's still there. It's a really funny line.
That's good old Sergeant Kendall.
Yeah.
He was a drill sergeant.
Awesome. Based off a real sergeant. That's what you know.
Real world experience there,
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't know what it's like now. I hear that they're not allowed to call you certain names in there, but then, man, it was a woo.
Open house.
I believe it.
They were the frick you wanted. Yep. So yeah, tell us more about your ward and everything. Like, did any of your military experience impact how you worked on StarCraft or anything like that?
Well, none of it really came to play in that, except for voices where they said, "This guy's a sergeant in charge." Thing, I'll give him a drill sergeant voice, And Lester and Sarge, and the thing, they were like guys in the military that were like fuck ups that were on the back, that were put way in the back where there's no action. There's guys like that in the military too, and they're like the most unmilitary guys there are. That's why they get those kind of duties.
Right. Yeah.
And I knew guys like that, so I based him on like that. And the way he talks, I was thinking about my Uncle Lonnie, because that's was my Uncle Lonnie's voice basically.
Yeah.
My Uncle Lonnie in Kentucky, he used to say stuff like this. He'd talk about my dad, and he'd go, "Son, your dad was the meanest son of a bitch I've ever seen. Somebody should have killed him years ago, really." And he was always lecturing people like this. That's right, the whole thing about, well, I'm in charge. That's why I listen to the goddamn thing I want.
This is the hell I want, bitch.
Yeah. Explain. Lonnie, my Uncle Lonnie explained everything he did, like in a real patronizing way. This is Lester, smaller type of Zerg, but he wouldn't be up in here and let. Oh shit.
So did you kind of do that like country groove that they play on the radio? Did you do some of that music? They have a lot of like small country riffs.
Oh yeah, that's a 2-beat country thing. Like, because the guy that taught me how to play initially was my great uncle Ed Tunks, and he played guitar in a Western swing band called Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. They were huge. And they did that kind of stuff, and they did a lot of 2-beat songs like that. So there's a lot of songs, they go.
Yeah.
That's how Well, the last time I saw her, she was sucking off a donkey through a barbed wire fence. Excuse me. So a song like that, those are just great songs. You throw any a 2-beat like that.
Yeah. Let's see. So I wanted to let you know, and Sub wanted to let you know. You told me about how people got your info wrong on the StarCraft wiki, and I wanted to know which page it was, because there are 2 James pages on the StarCraft wiki, because I'll let Subsourian explain it, but you have a character. There's a character named after you.
I guess first question is: so they did a whole like fake write up for your history of like, I broke out of prison. Did you help write that for the character in the vinyl, or was it
I think Matt came up with it. Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah,
nice.
He showed it to me before he put it up there. I don't even think I looked at it. I go, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, he made you do a big prison break. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Hey.
Jumping out of an airlock, if you jumped out of an airlock in space, wouldn't that you'd pretty much what?
Yeah.
In space, yes, but let's see. So yeah, you have I can pull them up for you, but there are two
the things that were incorrect, like when people were writing down the lyrics to the songs, they almost always get some of it wrong.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, those things are important. So I wouldn't be nitpicky about it. I go, no, man, that's not right. In parts of that song were added in from other things, like at the end when I'm doing the thing to grab your Zerg and beat him in the head. If you don't like biscuits, feed cornbread. Zerg's on the waistline, about half grown. Jump on a man like a dog on a bone. Well, that's from a Bob Wills song that my uncle played guitar in. It goes. Grab your girl and pat her on the head. If she don't like biscuits, feed her cornbread. Girls on Big Creek, about half grown. Jump on a man like a dog on a bone. Stay all night, stay a little longer. Dance all night, dance a little longer. Pull off clothes, throw them in the corner. Don't see why I want to stay a little longer. So I threw that in at the end because that kind of thing works on any of those 2-beat songs. And I love Bob Wills. That song, Stay All Night, that was the first song I learned how to play.
Nice. Yeah, it's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
So sorry, do you have anything?
No, I mean, the biggest thing was I love hearing the history of that music. So you did,
the music's really cool.
Oh, I love music. I've got 1,078s. These are my uncle left me his collection.
Geez, okay, yeah.
Dang, so many.
This whole room full of them.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah. Yeah, damn. Hey, look at all that. That's so cool.
I'm a messy collector, but I collect stuff like crazy.
Nice.
I got 1,078s, mostly 78s. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you voiced some characters in the intro. Tell us about that. The intro of StarCraft.
Oh, the guys that were doing salvage.
Yeah, the salvagers.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was going to be. See what they did after we did that the initial scene. That wasn't the first thing we did, but there was in no particular order. They just had me up there. There wasn't even a booth yet or anything like that. They were just kind of in a corner with some microphones.
Yeah.
They shared Blizzard. This is how new they were. They shared that office. I think that office building with 2 other companies or 3 other companies.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Great.
There was beer everywhere and people.
Yeah, I'd assume that. Yeah, I assume that it was made early on in development because it had like a whole ship that was supposed to appear in the game, but it never appeared in the game. And shit like that. But tell us.
Those things like that. They'd give me a line to say, and they'd say, "Well, say that as many ways as you can, and when you run out of steam, we'll do something else." Right?
Nice.
like he said, "Wait, what you got in there? What you got in there? Hey, what you got in there? What you got in there? What's over there? What's all that shit? What's over there? Hey, you got anything good in there? What we got? We got a buttload of shit in there. We got all sorts of shit." And you just keep going, And so they use some of those in there. And when I was watching, I was going, "Oh, that was me. That was me."
That was me. Nice. That's so cool. That is so cool. Did you voice?
Like going, "I ain't picking on it. God damn it, that was me too."
Picking on it. Yeah, that's.
I ain't picking on it.
You kind of really set the tone for StarCraft for the Terrans. Like, that really, most of the voices people remember tend to be the ones you did.
Yeah, and it's really cool because I'm a California kid. I grew up actually in Compton and Paramount in East LA. You know, I was, we're not even white people there. It's blacks and Mexicans. You know, there's way more fucked up nicknames to get. You know, at first they were calling me Frankenstein. Anybody called me Frankenstein, I'd fight right then. I asked my brother, I go, call me Frankenstein. What do I do? He goes, just take off on whoever says it. Even if they kick your ass, they're not gonna say it again. So it took like a week for them to quit calling me Frankenstein. You know, they started calling me Whiteboy. I got a friend who is my age, 58, and he's still called Booger to this day.
Nice.
Well, it got you the band name, so yeah.
That's so cool that you took an old street name that you were called and called that your band. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what most people called me. In those areas and in clubs, they called me that. You know, when we moved to Cerritos, that's where the tract homes ended. That was like all white, all mostly white people. You know, and they didn't call me White Boy James there. But when I started, I started playing in clubs when I was a teenager. And I ran into a lot of guys that I grew up with, you know. And I played all over the place, so that's how that came about. And as far as the hillbilly dialects, I learned that. I mean, honestly, I spent every summer from the time I was 9 till I was 16 in a very rural place called Lindsayville, Kentucky. That's where my mom's side of the family's from. And to this day, you got to go. I think it's about 35 miles just to get gas from there. There's one business in Lindsayville. It's a trailer where my two cousins, they cut hair. Uncle Bert's daughter. God, I can't remember her name right now. Oh man. Sorry, cousin. She cuts all the women's hair in town, and he cuts all the men's hair in town, except for my Uncle Fonz, who gets a perm. And my Uncle Lonnie said, well, yeah, everybody gets their hair cut by a man in town, except for Fonz, who gets his hair cut by a woman. Because they don't like each other.
Damn.
He thinks he's Mayor Lindsayville, but he gets his hair cut by a woman.
Did you do any of the controllable units in StarCraft or StarCraft 2 at all?
They stuck some of the voices here, but I didn't know where it was going to go. I just, is when I started playing the game, I'd hear little things here and there, you know. And the one, there's a lot of them are me, but the ones that aren't me, even somebody else redid it, you know.
All right.
But you can pretty much tell the difference, you know, if it's me or somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
And I saw this one thing where they had different boards, and this guy was claiming that he did a lot of them. No, he wasn't even there. You know, I don't know who it was. I was going, bullshit. He didn't, you know.
Taking the credit.
He might have heard what they wanted for me doing it and redid some of them, but they left most of mine there. You know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or put in places, you know, because they had a lot of material on me. Because as you can see, it's really hard for me to stay quiet.
Yeah.
And that created like a love-hate thing with the Blizzard people. The guy that was in charge of the recording stuff, man, after a couple of days with me in that room, he swore he'd never work with me again.
Well, they still brought you back.
Especially when I saw he was getting irritated at me, I was just fucking with him constantly.
Love it.
He said, "Can we do that again?" I go, "Look, man, you can't make me do that over there. You ain't my goddamn dad." Well, I just want you. I go, you stuttering, mumbling prick. You know, just messing with him, having fun.
That's fun. Do you have any fun stories about recording or how it was like in StarCraft 1 Studios?
Well, me and Matt had fun everywhere we go. We just had fun playing with it. You know, it really wasn't that long. I mean, it was like a day and a half total, probably. You know,
Right.
Most of it was done in one stretch. You know,
Makes sense.
And,
Any fun bloopers that you know
oh man,
about?
there's a lot of. They left all my best stuff on the floor, man. I'll tell you, the Asian guy who going, he looked like he broke into something. What you gonna do for that? He looked fucked up. Why you gonna fix it? You get mad at that. You don't like call from desk. Maybe you look outside.
Why?
Fucking you. You go kill it. You know,
Fuck you. That's funny.
kill it. No, you kill it. You sit at desk all day, don't do nothing. God damn it, I said kill it. No, you kill it. No, you kill it.
That'd be good banter.
Arguing with
That
yourself
would have
and
been a
shit.
funny scene.
Stuff like that. You just roll and roll on it. It was great.
Yeah.
I was sure they were going to keep that stuff, but they were, it was kind of a different time, and they didn't know that they weren't really aware of how popular this thing was going to. Nobody was.
Yeah.
I mean, when something's that popular, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, look at all the fans there. How can you tell that many people that they can't play that game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. It's such a great game. I love the atmosphere that you guys put into it.
It's great, and then when they
Silly
started
and fun.
having it like it was a sport in places, that just blew my mind. I thought it was great. And so, I'm working on a thing where, do you remember the old NFL films that they used to play where they'd narrate them? Like they go, it was a cold day in Wisconsin when the Green Bay Packers took the field. And they go, dun, 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 all this epic music. Coach Lombardi's Packers took the field like warriors of old, grudgingly fighting for each yard. These guys running in slow motion. Dun, 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 bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be one of the color commentators on a Blizzard, on a StarCraft thing, doing it like that.
Oh,
As his Zergs went forward, destroying all manner of properties, he knew his Terrans were in deep trouble early in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Ezra, I have one more question for you, and then we can just chat for a bit. But did you do any anything for the games besides the songs, the voices at all, and any writing or any coding?
I didn't do any coding. I would go in there with Matt. Like I'd go down to the place out there, the compound as they call it. When they were, I didn't realize how heavy it was. I would just stop in because I was still traveling all the time. I didn't think about that much. I got there and go, wow, man, this is a great place, Oh, you want anything? Yeah. Hey, you drinking or just bitching? He goes, hey, we're going to have an idea jamming session. You want to go in there? I go, all right. And so I go in there and these guys are like all serious, sitting around and Matt's talking about what's going to happen there. I go, you got to have one of the guys have a cigarette inside of the machine. These guys all smoke, man. They're soldiers and shit,
yeah.
Yeah, not even
I was always throwing out ideas like that, and then the guys were like, going, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
That's hilarious. I do remember a couple of them in one of the cutscenes had cigarettes in their helmets. Yeah,
The one floating in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was me, man, thinking about that stuff. And and when I did BlizzCon, up there they said, "Oh, you can't smoke up there." I go, they're going to let me smoke on stage. What the fuck's that? He goes, you can smoke on stage. You do anything you want. He started naming the guys on the thing. Joey Ray smokes. So smokes.
Joey Ray.
Plus, when you're out there, you can do anything you want. Actually, I had a joint when I walked out there.
Nice.
Oh, and Tenacious D were there that day, right?
They were, yeah.
They played afterwards.
Yeah, they were.
Those guys were so cool and so intelligent. I went back there and they were out there. We hung out for hours, just rapping. They're really, really nice, very intelligent guys. Funny as hell. Yeah.
Funny as hell, yeah. I love Tenacious D.
Yeah.
I looked up, I go, I know what the D's all about. The chap like goes, ooh, Whiteboy James. Hey. Is that cannabis you have? I go, why, yes, it is.
That's one way to make friends, I'll tell you that.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, tell us a bit more about yourself. Like you, how long have you been doing songs for?
I learned to play it initially from my uncle Ed Tunks. I've always been interested in music and performing. My dad, mom were divorced when I was 3, and my dad would pick me up for the weekends for around the time I was 9, and he would just drop me off at his uncle's, my great uncle Ed Tunks' house. I didn't know it at the time, but Ed Tunks, he was very wealthy. He was very wealthy. He lived in Garden Grove when that was like the end of the frontier, kind of. This was in the early 70s. 'Cause I'm 58 now. So,
Yeah.
he dropped me off there, and I'd usually somebody would come pick me up on Monday or Tuesday. It was never on Sunday. I'd always miss 1 or 2 days of school. But I loved being around Ed Tunks. He was kind of a hard guy, and he was dying of diabetes. But he'd have me bring him ice cream and whiskey and, whatever kind of drugs he was doing, and he'd let me do whatever I wanted that he had. And he just started teaching me about music, And he would not let me not pay attention. It through him, I learned how to play guitar, piano, and the most important thing I learned from him was like musical voicings. If somebody's playing drums or guitar, whatever they're playing, the way they play is just as identifiable as somebody's voice when they're talking. If you know what they're doing, their voicing is just as different. You can tell who it is, and you can tell who they listen to.
Yeah.
That's probably the most important thing, and it was. I guess I was 11, almost 12. My dad came by one time, and he'd always Uncle Ed had all these 78s. He'd say, "Listen to the drummer on here. The drummer on here played in this one over here too." He'd connect them all. He called it spider webbing. Like he said, if you like a song, the first thing you need to do is find out who wrote it. Right? Find out who wrote it, and go listen to them and their band. But this band that you heard it from, what you want to do is you want to start with the drummer and figure out everybody he's played with, and everybody he listens to, and do that with everybody in the band. And go as far back with each one of them as you can. That's how you learn about why they're playing it this way, where they came from. It all makes a difference.
That's smart. Yeah.
And so I was eaten up with it from the time I was a kid. I still can't get enough of it. When I was 11, almost turned 12, my dad showed up, and I would go to Uncle Ed's. He goes, "Yeah, Uncle Ed died." And I was like, I go, "Well, what are you doing?" He goes, "Hold on. He wanted you to have these." And he had 6 crates of these 78s. He just put them in the yard and left. We were playing. And so I got them, took them in the garage, and started listening to them. I still listen to them every day.
Jeez, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get in.
Yep.
Hey, I played anywhere I could. I didn't like church, but we didn't have instruments at home at that time. We were very poor, and they had organ and piano. So I played organ and piano in church choir, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I played anywhere I could.
What all do you play? Like, because you seem like you've got a lot of instruments under your belt.
My main thing is singing. I play guitar okay. I play harmonica. I play piano. I play bass. The banjo, ukulele. I pretty much anything. If I have something for a while, I'll figure something out on it.
Right.
I got a saxophone.
Yeah,
I'm just starting to mess with that. Whole different thing.
I was gonna say, I see it behind you. I know it's a complex one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one from the 50s.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
My brother-in-law gave it to me. It works fine, I think.
I
don't know.
I think.
Once you figure out how to play.
So a little bit of change in topic, but have you played any of the games before or watched other people play it?
I played World of Warcraft. Not as much as I would like to, because at the time I was touring so much. I'd play it when I could. And my son played it. My son's 29. He's like close to your age. You're about that age, right?
Yeah.
Mark?
In my 30s.
Yeah.
Mark's.
I am very, very young, so I'm like 25. I actually turned 25 the other day, so.
Well, yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
So he was thinking, they gave me all the games free and all kind of special stuff, and I gave it all to him, and I supported him on it, and So it's mostly him, and I play with him.
Nice.
Whatever he wanted to do. Because I was gone most of the time. So when I was around, I'd try to spend quality time with him. He loves that. Now he's now he's manager of 2 retro game stores. One's in Huntington Beach, I think one's in the Valley somewhere, and he teaches history at Huntington Beach High School.
Oh dang, okay.
Yeah.
He's doing good. Yeah.
Got a lot going on.
I liked World of Warcraft quite a bit. I played a little bit of Diablo, not too much. I played StarCraft a bit. I'm not very patient, so that whole real-time strategy thing, I was like, yeah, okay. I just get buried.
Yeah, it's
I got the thing I do, but okay, these guys are playing all the time. If I'm playing with my son as a kid, it's all right, but playing against these guys is like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to spend on it to really get good at it, but I was trying for it, and I wanted to hear where I was on there, but it was just wild, and how popular it got, and so fast. I believe it because I'd hear it, and I didn't think about it that much. I started thinking about it a lot more when StarCraft 2 came out and the songs were on there, in the BlizzCon thing, and that's around when I started getting the royalty checks. I was like,
Nice.
whoa.
Oh.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I mean, the video game fans. My sales online, like on iTunes and Amazon, and all that, just boom, just exploded. Songs online are getting hundreds of thousands of hits, and man, I was just like so humbled and gracious about it.
Yeah.
I've definitely downloaded some of your stuff because of StarCraft. So
Yeah.
Yep.
See, because the gamers, they not only got those 2 games, they got back and downloaded all kind of other stuff. Some of them liked it. Some of them, it's funny seeing the comments on them.
yeah.
There's strings of them. They say, this guy looks like a Terran Marine. This guy,
Yeah. Like I said, you set that vibe for that whole Terran everything.
Yeah, I love it.
It turns out I was like the perfect guy to put in there, but
Yeah, I think so.
Turns out. I think so too, man.
Because my whole life, I was around those kind of things, and like I said, spending every summer in Kentucky, a very rural area, and I've always been a mimic and done impressions and stuff like that. So I'm big on dialects. I'm a sad guy. I do voiceovers all over the place, and I'm a Screen Actors Guild, so voiceovers, that's one of my things. I'm really good at a bunch of dialects. And I work on those constantly, just like every other endeavor I'm in. I'm always chipping away at it. My Uncle Ed had taught me. He said, son, it's like wielding a stick. You keep doing it, it's going to get sharp after a while. Just keep doing it.
What other voiceover stuff have you done? Like what other than games?
Nothing major. Like I've done a lot of I've done a bunch of books on tape, like shitloads.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I've done like industrial things. I mean, assloads of them.
Nice.
Business things, personal things like that. Nothing that ever got that huge like that.
Nice.
Because they don't. It's really hard to get voice work unless you're like a major star now. I was lucky that I got in early, and had that advantage on there, because when people find out that I did that stuff, everybody's my friend.
Yeah.
I'll be at a bar somewhere and somebody will mention that, and like somebody might know it. They go, yeah, he did that, and they go, you StarCraft? I go, yeah. And I go, you played StarCraft? Sure, right. And I'll look at them, I go, it's a Zerglin, Lister. Smaller type of Zerglin. And they're like, ah!
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You're that random guy in that one campaign. Oh my god.
Or like, I'm on most jukeboxes. When you go places, I'm on most jukeboxes.
Yeah.
Nice.
In America. And shotguns are you, excuse me for scribbling on there, and whatever song's on there, somebody will play it while I'm in there that knows it, and I'll sit there and go, thank you. Is that him? That's you? I played that game.
Yeah.
I go, I appreciate your support. Thank you.
That's so cool. Would you
Or they say,
ever...
play that game. I go, that don't change the fact that I got a Zerg and a shotgun. I'm bringing it home to you.
Yeah, I'm still bringing it home, bitch. If you were invited to another StarCraft project, would you go?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Matt or anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's retired, but you know, sure, I would absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
There were a few times where they were about to bring Lester and Sarge back. They were going to be half robot, half.
Oh,
but it never happened. You know?
hey, that's still. Did they tell you anything more about that, or because that?
Matt did, but and we bashed around some ideas, and then it kind of went dark, and you know I knew then they were going to use it, so you know I didn't say, hey man, what about that thing? You know, I just don't do that. Let's play it real cool because I know that he would include me with anything that had to do with my work that I've done on there because you know it's kind of legacy stuff pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. He's one of the most intelligent people I ever met, and one of the nicest, most humble, talented people I've ever met. You know?
Yeah,
his wife's wonderful. His kids are great. You know,
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him, man. He seems like a really awesome guy. I've talked to him on Facebook like years ago. So
yeah,
back when he was active. So yeah.
So I know Matt did in that intro that did you help him at all with that, or was that all him? The music in the background, all him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Matt, that in the style of music I play, Matt's one of the best guitar players there is.
Oh dang, okay.
Nice.
In fact, there's a. This was never released, but we had a whole album with Matt that we never released. It was called Behind the Boot. I'll send it to you guys, and that's Matt playing guitar. Just incredible jump loose stuff.
I'd love to hear it. I love his work. So.
Oh man, incredible guitar stuff.
Yeah, if you're willing to let us release it, we would love to like post it on YouTube or something. Maybe if you want.
Absolutely, go for it. I'll send it to you. Put it anywhere you want. You know.
All right. Yeah, I'll make sure to credit you and everything. I'll let you know if I do.
Sure.
Yeah, it was awesome having you on here today, man. I think I have to go in a few minutes, but
hey man, sorry it took me so long.
It's all right.
All good.
I'm really new at this. I'm really new at this stuff, and I was trying to get it together, and
it's all right. You did your best.
Yeah,
it was fun having you on, man. You're an awesome guy. Like,
it's good to see you. We talk on the phone all the time.
Pleasure. Yeah.
See you too, man.
Pleasure to meet the voice I've heard all these years.
And buddy, Mark's talked about you for all. It's good to meet you. It's just like I thought. Just like a
picture. You are literally exactly how I pictured because I already knew what you looked like anyway. But still, but yes. Oh my god.
Now let's think of a game to play. Now that the grown-ups have all gone away.
No. Oh my god, what is happening?
Hey, Gomez!
Oh my god. Oh my god. And you help? Were you like inspiration for some of the Zerg?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or something.
You definitely got that '90s.
Yep. Man.
That look down. All right.
Damn. All right. I will let you guys go, but I would love to once me and Matt. Damn. So, for the audience at home, James, can you tell us what your favorite unit is?
Terrans, of course.
Race, sorry, not units, but yeah.